Network Center. I am Mina Adobe Okobasi. On Panorama, we have a couple of reports on news making the rounds in the country and River State. And we also have the studio discussion, which is to focus on the latest approach described as environmentally friendly by the Nigerian Navy to dispose of illegal petroleum products to avoid polluting the environment. But first now the reports. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed Nigeria's deep appreciation over its relationship with Saudi Arabia, describing it as mutually beneficial. The president stated this when receiving the country's outgoing ambassador to Nigeria, Sahal Ibn Abdulfian, on a farewell visit, described the relationship between Saudi Arabia and Nigeria as strong. Apart from visiting Mecca and Medina for spiritual upliftment, a lot of Nigerians also patronize Saudi Arabia universities. The mutually beneficial relationship, he said, will grow stronger in years to come, as the two countries are already collaborating in other areas of common interest. The president expressed delight that the Nigerian economy is gradually reviving as a result of the various policy initiatives, including the Agricultural Revolution Program, describing the last farming season as quite good. The outgoing Saudi Arabian ambassador, Sahal Ibn Abdulfian, who spent 20 months on tour of duty in Nigeria, commended President Muhammadu Buhari for the bold steps taken in confronting the Boko Haram insurgents, which he described as part of Nigeria's fundamental problems, reflecting on President Buhari's recent visit to Saudi Kingdom in February last year. He said such exchange of visits by the leaders should be sustained in the interest of both countries. The need for building trust between security agents and communities in the counter-insurgency operation in the Northeast region has been stressed. This is one of the key issues raised by stakeholders at a meeting on post-conflict reconciliation jointly organized by the Center for Democracy and the United Nations Development Program. The Center for Democracy, in conjunction with the United Nations Development Program, organized a one-day meeting with communities and security agencies in order to brainstorm on how to develop the cross-breeding among the two partners. Speaking at the event, project manager in the UNDP, Yoshaki Nugush, and State Director of CDD, Liat Hassan, both advised for synergy between members of the public and security agencies. The Center for Democracy and Development is a non-governmental organization trying to provide an independent situation to critically reflect on the challenges of post-democratization and development process in the Northeast, among other post-insurgency issues. The Nigerian Navy ship Pathfinder Port Harcourt says it is adopting a new strategy in the destruction of illegal refinery sites given the concerns over black soot in River State. The commander of the NSS Pathfinder, Commodore William Coyote, disclosed this when he led the River State Committee on Black Soot to inspect one of the illegal bunkery sites in Port Harcourt. Kingsley Amajiri reports.
With the River State Government Committee on Black Soot working to unravel the possible cause of the soot in the state, the NNS Pathfinder said it is concerned about issues raised concerning the environment. This inspection with the committee is to appreciate the new strategies the Nigerian Naval Command Authorities is adopting in destroying these illegal bunkering and refining sites.
And you know the impact and the hazardous impact of that soot on the environment. So what we are doing now is the destruction of this illegal refinery by using what we call swarm boogie operation, not only to crush the metallic badges and tanks that they have here, but to ensure that we degrade maximally the effort of these illegal bunkerers in our area of operation.
Commodore Kayoda said the Navy will continue in its campaign against oil thieves in line with the Chief of Naval Staff directive towards protecting the nation's economic resources. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Well, it's now time to welcome our guest in the studio. He is Professor Dagogo Fubara. a geoscientist with the Rivers State University of Science and Technology. Prof, it's good to have you aboard Panorama today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Now, looking at that very report from the Nigerian Navy, you just watched an environmentally friendly approach has been adopted by the Navy, which is to check the menace of black soot. What is your reaction to that?
Well, what I have seen is environmentally friendly in terms of the black soot which arises from burning of what they are disposing.
Okay.
But when you bury it in the river, the creeks, and the swamp as they are doing, that too is not environmentally friendly.
Okay.
Because the environment consists of the air, the water, and the land. So they are trying now to solve one by not releasing the unburnt hydrocarbon because we are complaining. But perhaps the biggest danger, as the United Nations reports on Ogoni land since 2010 or 11, deals very strongly on the pollution of the air, the land, and the water. The land is polluted and prevents the Ogoni people from farming the way they used to.
Okay.
It's polluted in that the groundwater they cannot drink because the groundwater is polluted. Then the rivers are polluted because of hydrocarbon released in the streams, and those streams are tidal streams, polluting and killing fishes, both the large ones and even the eggs that should produce new ones because they are suffocated by hydrocarbon.
So therefore, it's a case of solving one problem to create another?
No, you are solving one of the problems while you are, creating
another.
Advancing another one which is already existing.
Okay, as a geoscientist, Prof, this black soot menace has remained consistent in the Niger Delta as a whole. How do you think this can be permanently tackled?
Well, there are a number of things to permanently tackle it in. The first and foremost is that the thing just did not start today. Luckily, we have satellite technology that has been monitoring the environment over the years. The Federal Ministry of Environment and River State and the other state ministries of environment in Niger Delta should insist. First is to do an assessment going back 10 years to use those satellite imagery to map and depict the changes of the ecology due to these events over the last years, and in particular in the last 1 year since it became very prevalent. When you do that, then you'll be able to locate. When the ministry do say they don't know where the things are coming from, you'll be able to locate from satellite imagery using infrared camera sensors to say exactly where the sources. Having done that, the federal government law, the law of the Federation on environmental impact assessment, demands that every industry must do an environmental impact assessment before starting. And having done that, should routinely, at least once every 2 years, do environmental impact audits. Now the ministries of environment at the state and federal level must enforce this federal provision in the law so that they will find out who is doing what. Thirdly, the international bodies have air pollution monitoring systems. All we need to do is to buy those things and insist that all the sources of possible pollutants, industries, must mount at 4 corners of their places these things that would say how much environmental pollution is coming from their environment. And the state government agencies should go and retrieve these things maybe once every month or so to know who is causing what pollution and what quantity of pollution.
Okay.
With that, we can now begin to tackle the thing, stop those who are doing causing the pollution, find them according to the law.
Okay.
And enforce those things.
The steps already put on ground by the government to checkmate this menace, do you think they are capable actually to achieve set goals?
With all due respect, I've listened to them on television and on radio. I have not seen any scientific steps they've put down to check anything. With all due respect.
Okay.
Well, there have been a lot of talking, but I don't see the positive action that will enable us check the menace.
And just
it is scientific.
Okay.
No, it's not voodoo. It's not bracadabra. Nothing by the gods or whatever.
Yes, no hard
it is scientific method to do these things until they are invoked. And if they say they don't have money, the wisdom of our founding fathers, the Federation account has 2% of the Federation account reserved for ecological problems.
Okay.
They should go to the federal government and say that money should not be shared to the states to spend anyhow they like. This is the time to use money from the 2% ecological fund to address these things I've said that will be costly to do. But we must do them in order to save our lives. Because as I had said before, we are committing self-inflicted genocide. Our people in the Niger Delta have no drinking water. They drink rainwater. The rainwater is polluted.
Okay, Prof, just before I let you go, please, can you kindly give us your expert advice on this?
Well, already I've given you expert advice. The steps that must be taken first to document scientifically the sources of the problem.
Okay.
The steps that should be taken to regularly monitor those sources, and the steps that should be taken to technically insist that those sources supply environmental impact audit as required by law.
Okay.
And if they would not, government should commission people like the Institute of Pollution Studies in River State University of Science and Technology and many other environmentalists to go and do the EIA, the impact analysis of every one of those things in order to guide them.
Thank you so much for coming on board, Professor Dagogo. It was wonderful speaking with you. Thank you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Well, we've been talking with Professor Dagogo, a scientist with the River State University of Science and Technology. And in continuation, women have been advised to always demand for their rights in every field of endeavor and see themselves as national leaders with great potentials and skills that can make them stand out in the environment. The advice was given at an empowerment forum which was organized by Partnership Initiative in the Niger Delta PIND in Bayelsa to encourage women to take up leadership positions and be involved in conflict resolutions. Vivian Ezadife reports.
The forum draws participants from the 9 states in the Niger Delta region with the sole aim of encouraging women to be bold for change in community leadership and peace building in their various environments. The organizers of the event, Partnership Initiative in the Niger Delta, and other stakeholders in Bayelsa State noted that the forum is a platform where women can interact, network, support, and chart their course forward.
If you want your children to go to school and learn well, then you must allow the women to do what they know how to do.
I believe that women are built to be the prop of society.
While presenting their papers on women to be bold for change in community leadership and peace building, the women who have carved their niche in various fields, including a distinguished actress and activist, Hilda Dokubo, identified some of the challenges militating against women.
So be bold, speak out. We're not saying become a man. I don't think any woman wants to be a man.
The event featured discussions on the need to be bold for change in community leadership and peace building. From Yanagua in Bayelsa State, Vivian Ezadifi, NTA News.
The National Youth Service Corps NYSC has introduced monthly quarterly environmental sanitation nationwide to help health states maintain a clean and healthy environment. Osinachi Samuel witnessed the cleanup exercise by Corps members in Port Harcourt City local government area.
The environmental sanitation by the Corps members is an initiative of the Director General NYSC to help promote healthy living in the country. The exercise, which is being carried out in the 23 local government areas of Rivers State, is part of community service of the NYSC. Corps members took to the public places such as Abali Motor Park, My One Flyover Police Station, Port Harcourt City local government, and the Secretariat to clean up.
The Corps members usually are part of what is happening in their surroundings where they are serving. So the very last Thursday of the month is designated as a day to mobilize them to also do the work en masse.
You know, Port Harcourt is not really as clean as we used to know it, the Garden City. Now that they have this initiative of cleaning quarterly or even monthly, it's a very good program, and we always want to support them at all times.
The National Youth Service Corps, since inception, has continued to provide selfless service to the states of the Federation. In Port Harcourt, Osinachi Samuel, NTA News.
Recognition of the need for collective efforts to bring peace and development to Oba land, the elders, chiefs, and people of Omoko held a peace and reconciliation forum to seek the face of God to restore the land. Karina Iguniko has the report.
The Peace and Reconciliation Forum brought together the people of Obaland to reconcile all hurts, forgive one another, and collectively seek the face of God to forgive, heal, and restore the land. Caretaker Chairman Oba Ebemandoni Local Government Area, Osi Olisa, observed that both the youths and elders have erred, as such the need for collective repentance for God to restore the land. He charged the youth to shun all social vices and take up the responsibility of building a virile society conducive for investments.
We have made errors from the elders, the traditional institution, the political class, and even the youths. Let us go back to our God.
State Chairman Amnesty Committee Ken Chinda emphasized that meaningful development cannot thrive in an atmosphere of violence and crisis. He reiterated the commitment of the state government to follow through with the amnesty program and called for the cooperation of the people.
The amnesty that was granted in Rivers State last year recorded significant progress. New opportunities. We should allow these things to have its roots.
Other prominent sons of Obaland and those who have embraced the amnesty program of the state government urged all to embrace peace irrespective of losses incurred during the crisis for the community to move forward. Reverend Steve Ogan, preaching on the topic "My Change Has Come," underscored the need for mutual forgiveness and restitution for true repentance and prayed for peace and restoration of the land. In Omok, Karina Iguniko, NTA News.
On sports, following Lobby Stars' 2-1 victory over Aqua United on Thursday in continuation of MPFL Match Day 16 at the Upper Akko Stadium, Makurdi, the front-runners and continental hopefuls have emerged. Mountain of Fire Ministries FC of Lagos occupy top spot with 30 points, while Plateau United is second with 29 points. El Kanami Warriors and Kano Pillars are placed third and fourth with 27 and 24 points respectively. Bottom four and battling relegation include Sunshine Stars with 18 points, Rivers United has 15 points, while Enugu Rangers occupy the rear with 13 points, though Rivers United and Enugu Rangers have 3 outstanding matches. And that's Panorama on NTA Port Harcourt Network Center. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful weekend.